In 1993, a German engineer, Rudolf Gatenbrink, found himself inside the Great Pyramid of Giza, investigating a previously unexplored shaft in the Queen's Chamber. What's fascinating about this shaft is that unlike the two shafts found in the King's Chamber, it doesn't open to the outside. Instead, it seems to lead about 10 feet into the wall before coming to a dead end, leaving its purpose a mystery. To explore further, Rudolf created a small robot equipped with a camera and light. The robot was designed to fit into the 8-inch wide square shaft. When the robot was sent into the tunnel, something remarkable happened. As it reached what was supposed to be the end, it kept going. But instead of continuing in a straight line, the shaft ramped up at a 40-degree angle, leading to a much longer, previously undiscovered section. The camera feed showed the tunnel extending for another 90 yards before it reached another dead end, where the robot encountered a tiny, limestone door with 2 copper handles embedded into it. This discovery astounded Rudolf and his team. Metal had never been found in the Great Pyramid, which was believed to be made entirely of limestone. The door was intriguing. It had small gaps around the edges, suggesting there could be something behind it. Was this door added after the pyramid was built, or was it there to protect something important? Rudolf needed to find out. He sought permission from Zahi Hawass, the Egyptian Minister of Antiquities, to investigate further. However, rather than granting approval, Zahi and the Egyptian authorities blocked Rudolf and his team from continuing their research at the site. Despite their efforts over 2 years, there was clear tension between them, with Hawass reportedly resistant to new evidence that challenged mainstream Egyptology. Now, most people are familiar with the mainstream belief about the Great Pyramid that it was built around 4,500 years ago by Pharaoh Khufu as a tomb. Supposedly, it took 20 years to complete. Originally, the pyramid was covered in smooth white limestone, and the capstone was made of solid gold. But after a massive earthquake in the 1200s, much of the limestone was removed for use in rebuilding Cairo, leaving the rougher, blockier appearance we see today. Despite these widely accepted facts, there's no conclusive evidence that the Great Pyramid was ever used as a tomb for Khufu. No mummy has ever been found inside any pyramid, including the Great Pyramid, and no hieroglyphic inscriptions explicitly identify Khufu as the builder. There are some graffiti-like inscriptions in red paint, but these are often dismissed as later additions, not evidence of Khufu's direct involvement in construction. Even the name Khufu appears in a small statue found far from the Great Pyramid, not providing much proof of his connection to it. In fact, many of the mainstream theories about the Great Pyramid remain speculative, as most information about it is based on circumstantial evidence. Take, for instance, the sheer scale of the pyramid. It consists of 2.3 million limestone blocks, with some stones weighing up to 80 tons. Some of these massive stones were transported from a quarry 500 miles south of Giza. This is particularly mind-boggling because this construction supposedly took place before the wheel was invented, about 300 years prior. Even today, moving an 80-ton rock would be a significant challenge, and the methods suggested by Egyptologists, like dragging stones with ropes or using wooden rollers, are highly questionable. Moreover, the precision of the stone cuts is another anomaly. The joints between the blocks are so tight that you can't even fit a razor blade between them. Egyptologists claim that copper tools were used to make these cuts, but experiments have shown that copper chisels can barely make a dent in the stone. A British Egyptologist once spent days trying to recreate the process using copper chisels, only to make minimal progress. Even after switching to bronze chisels, the results were underwhelming. And then there's the construction timeline. If it really took only 20 years to complete the pyramid, the workers would have had to place 315 stones per day without fail. For comparison, the Sydney Opera House took 14 years to build, and the Panama Canal took 33 years. So how did the ancient Egyptians complete such an enormous project so quickly with their limited tools? The geometry of the pyramid is equally perplexing. When British airman and archaeologist P. Groves flew over the Great Pyramid in the 1940s, he noticed something strange. The pyramid appeared to have 8 sides, not 4. This phenomenon is only visible at sunrise and sunset during the equinox, twice a year. It's the first time such an observation was made in modern history. To add to the intrigue, the pyramid sits at the geodesic center of all the landmass on Earth. If you drew imaginary lines out from the pyramid, they would touch more land than any other point on the planet. Even more impressively, the pyramid is perfectly aligned to magnetic true north, with an accuracy of 99.94%, a precision only achievable today with modern technology. What's even more fascinating is the pyramid's mathematical and astronomical significance. For example, the perimeter of the Great Pyramid, if used to form a circle, would match the height of the pyramid, incorporating the mathematical constant pi. Furthermore, the pyramid is aligned with the golden ratio, which governs the formation of life itself, from the human embryo to galaxies. Some researchers even believe the Great Pyramid has connections to the Orion constellation. In 1994, Robert Bauval published The Orion Mystery, which suggests that the three pyramids of Giza mirror the position of the three stars in Orion's belt. All these discoveries raise questions about how ancient civilizations had such advanced knowledge of mathematics, astronomy, and geophysical properties. Could the Great Pyramid hold secrets about the distant past, or even a knowledge lost to time? The answers might lie in the still untold story behind the pyramid's construction.